straight and trying to go up 2-0. This is a team that has shown resiliency all playoffs, all season long.
The Cavs are leaving them. Josh Hart making them pay.
Knicks dominating here in the third.
There is just a confidence that the Knicks have when they get James Harden in that ISO.
We're focused on winning.
9 consecutive playoff wins for the Knicks. The Knicks now up 2-0.
John McEnroe is happy. A lot of New Yorkers are happy. The Knicks are up 2-0 in the Eastern Conference Finals, and so far this series has been all about halftime adjustments. First half of these games have been really close, with the Knicks only having a plus 2-point differential. But in the second half in OT, the Knicks have made those adjustments and have a plus 25 differential. Shifting gears, one of the biggest storylines for the NBA this offseason is what will LeBron James do? The 41-year-old is still deciding on if he intends to return for a 24th season, and if he will it be in LA or will it be somewhere else? This week on his podcast, Mind the Game, LeBron spoke for the first time on his thought process about his future.
Obviously, I understand that I'm a free agent and I can control my own destiny. If, being here with this franchise, for the, foreseeable future, or if it's going somewhere else. I think at some point, up until, up in June, late June, as July roll around, free agency starts to, gets going, and, as, July rolling and maybe into August, we start to kind of like get a feel of, what my future may look like.
Maybe into August. Windy, make something of this.
Yeah, let me just say, he said he's going on vacation this weekend, and I think we should just let him go on vacation, because I don't think maybe he's made the plan about what he wants to do yet. So here's the thing. He can do whatever. If he wants to wait until the day before the season starts, he can, and there will be teams lined up to sign him, okay? But if he wants to get a big dollar contract with the Los Angeles Lakers, he's going to have about a month. Because the Lakers have cap space, but he sits on their books at $58 million, okay? That's the way the rules work in the NBA. And to give you a free agent, he sits on your books until you sign him for whatever his new number is, whether it's $58 million or it's $20 million or it's $10 million, or you renounce him and say, we're giving up your rights, goodbye. And the Lakers cannot sit around and wait until mid-August to do something with that $58 million. And this is not like Aaron Rodgers, where you can sit for 6 months and then sign for $25 million. The NBA does not work like that. The Lakers have to make decisions. So really what I think it's more incumbent on the Lakers to have a plan to bring to LeBron. If they want to re-sign him, I don't want to assume anything. They need to come to LeBron and say, LeBron, here's what we want to offer and why. It's not just about the actual dollars.
Of course.
It's about the respect that you want to show and to say, listen, if we want you to take a pay cut to whatever it's going to be,
why?
This is what we're going to do with the money. We're going to chase these guys, and we're going to do like that. That is coming, because to me, this is really going to be who's going to come to whom first. LeBron is not going to go to the Lakers and say, more, please. They're going to have to come to him. And so really what he's doing here, he's negotiating. Right. This is part of a negotiation, but I'm not going to overreact to him saying August. I'm gonna let this see how the next few weeks goes with the Lakers moving first.
It's posturing, right? Yes. I mean, just to your point about negotiation, I think if you're LeBron, you want to see what that plan is, but also in the back of your mind, you're thinking to yourself and to your family, how do I want this ride to end? Like, where do I want it to end at? And like, is it about the money? Which it's always, I don't care what anybody says, money always helps the situation, but can it be about the money and a place that I love? Or can it be about maybe taking money somewhere else in another place where I can finalize my career? That's what we're talking about here. We're talking about the final stretch.
How should LeBron James end his career? Should he end his career on a team that is a first-round exit? Unceremoniously, his last game, we won't know when it is, right? Or does he go somewhere in a situation where he has a chance, a legitimate chance to win and be competitive? And that's why I think you leave your options open if you're him. First of all, it probably takes him 2 to 3 hours to get ready to play a game these days, right? He's putting in a lot of time for this. But on top of it, I think it is about the legacy of how do I end my career? And that's why I think you leave the door open, not only for what the Lakers bring to you, because it's a great point. The cap hold is going to keep them from being able to do anything. So they have to have a plan first. We have X, Y, Z to do. This is what the roster is going to look like with Luka and maybe even Austin Reeves, and see if he likes that. But in the meantime, you also allow another team that might be interested to say, hey, LeBron, if you come here, this is what we've got.
Here's how I handicap this on May 22nd. Okay. I'm not saying this is how I will see it on June 22nd, but on May 22nd, this is what I think. I think by the draft, which is 1 month from today, we will know whether LeBron will be a Laker or not.
Yep.
Okay? And if he's not going to be a Laker, then he can wait until August or September. He's going to watch what everybody else does and where his situation is going to fit.
Not putting you on the spot. Is there a handful of teams you would watch, if not Los Angeles, or it's too early to even go down?
I mean, I'm not going to say that and then have the rest of my weekend ruined, Peter, trying to respond to what are you trying to do to me on a Friday? Don't take that weekend on a Friday.
Weekend.
Let me live.
Sorry.
But yes, I'm sure he's not going to go to any of 27 other teams. There's probably a very small list he's going to willing
And
to
those
go.
small, that list is who?
What are the odds in the West?
I'm sorry, what?
Can we just
I'm trifle deaf in this here.
We have an alien in the West, 7-4, with young bucks that are playing at a high level of basketball. We have OKC and SGA.
This is the list I was looking for
with
from
the
you.
way they play.
Yeah.
Like the West is loaded. It's just something to think through.
Yeah.
Even if the Lakers come back and say we're going to go after this guy, does that get us over the hump?
Brian doesn't want a viral clip of him saying such things, but we all can kind of figure out, go east, old man, is basically what would be the answer here.
Well, there's a team playing right now.
I know.
He's in his
There's a team playing right now.
Yeah.
Where you're like, huh?
To the NFL we go, where
Thank
Joe
God.
Burrow is back. Sorry, Wendy. In the NBA playoffs out in the West Conference, San Antonio. Victor Wembanyama going back home now after the Thunder did take Game 2 and tie the series up 1-1. Wemby, of course, put on that show in Game 1. Yesterday, though, there was a lot of talk about how physical things were for Wemby in Game 2. Here was Charles Barkley commenting on whether he agreed with that assessment.
You people at home and on TV talking about they were physical with Wemby, man, y'all need to stop it. I've been kissed harder. But for you people thinking that's physicality, y'all need to shut the hell up.
Guys, we're the people at home and on TV. What was your response to that?
Well, it's not physicality relative to a WWE match, but it is physicality based on the way they played in Game 1 versus the way they played in Game 2. Completely different. They had the 7-footer in there. Let's just be honest. He was holding him or grabbing him or shoving him or, hooking him on essentially every play. Now, nobody is saying that he was committing assault, but he was absolutely doing that to try to slow him down. And this is something that is probably going to be where this series is largely decided, and certainly how each individual game may play out. And look, if you were the Spurs, you would be begging for the league to give Victor more protection.
Yes, and maybe more free throw attempts. But I mean,
look, 2 in Game 2?
He only had 2 free throw attempts in Game 2. Now, look, what Charles is saying is like we're all old heads. We all say that's how the game used to be played, right? So what's the big deal? What Hartenstein was doing was certainly legal on the street and apparently in Charles Barkley's bedroom, but it for the NBA standards, though, there was a lot of holding, there was a lot of physicality, and that's something that Wemby's got to play through. He's got to play through it. He's got to go to it.
Playoff basketball, right?
But he did that against Minnesota.
Yeah.
He seemed to back away, get out of the paint a lot more. He let that strategy work for one game. He can't let that happen in Game 3.
The problem is when you get to playoff sports, in any sport, basketball, football, the level of physicality is going to go up. Like that's just what happens. And the issue is not more so with, people like former players or people actually playing a game. It's with the fan base that frankly feels like everything is soft as tissues. Like, oh, he's being held in every single possession. Yeah, that's what you do. Alan, we had a little demo the other day.
They did exactly what you did to me.
Put an arm bar on you.
Right?
I'm like, yo, I'm face guarding you every possession. I'm holding you. I'm grabbing you. I'm doing all these different things. Like, that's what you do in playoff basketball. Yeah. By the way, it doesn't affect Wemby. Wemby's not complaining about it. It's the fans and it's people in the media saying how busy. Well, that's what playoff basketball is.
Right, but he still has to answer to it, though, Jay. He still has to go to it. Okay, you're going to play me this way. I'm getting you in foul trouble. I'm making sure that I fight fire with fire. You got to match that physicality. I felt like he kind of, once they started doing it, he got out of the paint.
Well, got the best of him in the Minnesota series when he went boom, right? Got the best of him. So I think we're still watching a player learn how to mature throughout this experience. I mean, Wemby hasn't been to the playoffs 10 to 15 times, guys. I mean, he's really his first time in the playoffs.
But he's playing like a guy who did. But don't you think, though, at home he's going to get the whistle?
Yeah, I was going to say, is there a thing that we talk about the star treatment that they all get? Like, he's Wemby. He should be getting more than 2 free throws.
Yeah.
And at home, you would imagine he would get more calls.
And this is one of the things about the NBA playoffs. And I wish there wasn't an officiating component, but there is an officiating component. They have different officials to referee different games. The games take place in different cities. You get a different situation in Game 3 versus Game 2. That's why we like the drama of a playoff series. And I would expect tonight, one way or another, will be different. I don't know how it will be different. That's why we watch the game.
Real quick, before we get to the talk about where we're going with this one, injuries, we've got 3 key players. Williams on Oklahoma City, and of course, you've got Harper and Fox. We'll find out about those guys, but what's your look as far as Vegas goes?
I think you get points tonight. I'd go over the 217.5. We had over 230 in Game 2 with one of the slowest paced games you'll find anywhere in the playoffs. So I think tonight with a lot of backups or potential moving parts, spacing the floor becomes critical. Also up and down shooting earlier in the shot clock. I like OKC a little bit here tonight. First time as an underdog in 34 postseason games. That goes back 2 years. 34 postseason games. They were 7.5-point favorites at home, so we're moving the spread 9 points to transition venues with Harper and Fox both potentially
But the
out.
shirts.
J-Dub's out.
The shirts.
Yeah,
The
don't
shirts.
forget
They
about
wear the
the
crazy
shirt.
colored shirts.
Half
I
point.
think Harper's going to play.
You do?
I do.
Okay. 20 years
Wow.
old. Coming up, the decision might